I'm going to start this update off with a mini rant. You ready? A lot of TNPers love when I do this because they feel the same way. If you don't want to hear it, I'll give you a thumbs up, meaning we're starting to talk about the guns on the table. Ready? Why are so many guys always bitching online? They're always complaining, and I'm talking about gun guys right now, that nothing satisfies them. They'll find this fault with the gun, this fault with the company, this fault with the price, blah, 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 blah. They hate it. A lot of negativity out there. Under my videos in the comment section, basically everywhere on the internet, you'll find it. Gun guys. I call them SOGDs, new term by the way, sedentary online gun debaters. Sedentary online gun debaters. Most of them don't get out to shoot that much, if at all, but they will rant. They'll get in fights with people in forums and comment section. They'll tell them how stupid they are for liking a gun that they don't like for their own weird preferences, usually. Oh my gosh. Makes me want to move up to Alaska, unjack from the internet, and be done with it. Yeah. Here's why I feel that way. No, I'm not done with the rant yet. No thumbs up yet. Because we live in an amazing era for combat handguns. The prices are lower than they've ever been. The models are more expansive and more awesome than they've ever been. Dang, son, if you can't be happy now, what's your prob, bro? Seriously, almost all the combat-worthy handguns that I bring to the table are really, really good. They might have some quirks here and there, but as a reviewer, I take the whole picture into consideration, just like with this series. There's a couple quirks here and there. Every gun's that way. But no, they'll get hung up on this little thing and then go out and convince the world that anybody who chooses it, you're an idiot. And on go the online fights. Oh my gosh. What guys spend their time on? I don't get it. I wish I could take them back to that gravel pit in Virginia in 1975 when Creed Walton and I were shooting what was then a very exciting Smith & Wesson Model 59 double stack 9mm. One of the first Wonder 9s. And so as we shot it, we were elated, even though it jammed about every 5th round. And it was like that way up into the 80s, until the M9, the Tauruses, and the SIG came along, H&K P7, M13, and then things started improving. And then it just accelerated until we are where we are today. So many great guns. So many great guns. Rant complete. Look for the thumb. There you go. Okay. Like these guns. The Canik TP9 series, for the money you pay for them. Oh, dude. They're off the chart values, and they are GTW worthy. If you don't know what that means, you need to watch more of my videos. I've been talking about it for 10 years. They're awesome. Time to do an update. That's how awesome they are. I'll meet guys that go, hey man, I only got this much money. What gun do you recommend? I was like, do you watch the channel? Do you get my playlist? I have that playlist. Yeah, kind of. What do you really think? I'm like, what I really think is what I say in the video. I don't have two opinions. I don't put, the guys actually say that. I'm like, well, what do you really think? I'm like, you kidding me? Like, what do you think the whole channel's built on? Integrity, honesty, data, and my own preferences. That's what you get. Go watch my video, bro. What I tell them, go buy Canik TP9, dude. $350, $320 when it's on sale at Gunny's, the Great American Gun Store. Link below. Yeah, dudes. Gunny's has sales on Canik TP9 SFs. This one right here, I think for $320. I just tweeted his flyer. Subscribe to my Twitter page, by the way, because that's why. I mean, dude, for $320? I love Glocks. You know I'm a big Glock guy. But, you know, $550, maybe higher for a G34. This is a 3rd gen, coated by myself. Yeah, dude. Caniks are awesome. And I've got 4 for this update. I think I did pretty good grabbing them. TP9 SF, TP9 SA, TP9 SFX competition ready. That will anchor this update review, by the way, because we haven't really looked at that one. I don't have a TP9 SF Elite compact, but I can roll in some photos or something from Canik's website. Then we've got the old school slide marked Canik 55 TP9 original. not the V2. I don't think this is V2. And I did retrofit the rear sight, and this is what I did my original review on in May 2014. Yes, still in our system. Not getting rid of it. Love it. It's kind of cool now with a Canik 55 collectible. Perhaps. On the table, cool stickers. I could do this all day. I could rant all day, actually. I could. Shark stickers. I don't know if we have that anymore. The watch for the review is a LAD Solar Atomic. Oh my gosh, is this a cool watch for the money. Look at that face. So, I don't know if you heard me. Solar Atomic? I think it's like 99 bucks. Forget it. I bought it on Amazon. You'll see the link. I'll do a review separately. TP9 though, 2017. They are made still to ISO 9001 quality standards. It shows. It shows in every aspect. When you look at the gun, how the finish is applied, how they're put together, the fit and finish, and more importantly, how they shoot and how they last. How they last. You know, have there been failures of Canik TP9s? Probably. There's failures of everything. But by and large, you'll find that most guys are extremely happy with theirs. Extremely happy. It's basically a Walther P99. Dude in comment the other day says, hey, you going to review the Walther P99? I think Tactical Doodle myself answered. I was like, yeah, we'll get around to it, but you have seen my TP9 series, right? This is like the third or fourth video I've done on the series. It's basically a P99. Basically. Slight differences, but basically a P99, which I think is a great gun, as is the Walther PPQ, both standard and in this case, long slide. This one's Cerakoted in Patriot Brown. Super sick. We may bounce to that one here when we talk about magazines. Love these guns. And I wish I did have a TP9 SF, but whatevs. Not a big deal. Features. I'm going to start off with the FSX competition ready. And this is Cerakoted, the slide portion, in tungsten gray. What do you think? It's pretty cool, right? I'm going to say it now. The price for this competition ready gun with all the accessories I'm going to go over right now is $500. Give or take. It's pretty close. For competition ready. So compare that against what you would have to do to go out and customize a gun to this level. The stuff we'll talk about, I think it's a wild deal. Wild, man. Ventilated slide at the top. That's the light and mass so it can cycle reliably with the, not underpowered, but not overpowered either, 9mm. Glock 34 does the same way. They just have a big old slot cut out at the top. Heads up, you can actually jam the G34. Get rocks in there. Did it in the sledgehammer drill. Drop this, had a little rock there. Gun jams. Just be aware. I'm sure the TP9 FSX would be the same way. Anything that's open, you can get some debris. Just enough pebbles to get in there to stop the cycling. It'd be rare, but if you're going to put this into a serious GTW POU, be advised. Be advised. Serrations on the top of the SFX to minimize glare. Remember the POU on this, the intent of the SFX is competition. I also think it would make a great tactical team pistol because it has a longer barrel, 5.2 inches, and that gives it a little bit more velocity, a little bit longer sight radius. I love it. Let's compare it against the G34, shall we, since it's here. About the same, a little bit longer sight radius, a little bit longer barrel, I think. SFX. Oh my gosh, what a great gun. Great sights on this. Worn with a fiber optic insert. You can change the colors on the front. Has a whole sight pack in the case. I'm going to show you the case as we get on to would I buy it and all the accessories that come with it. But the Warren sights are excellent. They're black. Max standout is the intent of the front sight blade. The Canik TP9 SF also has a Warrens, but these are white front, same rear sight blade, adjustable for windage, not elevation. Now you could say, well, as a competition pistol, that should be adjustable here, but they do. I think they have different height sights for the front, so you can still zero your SFX pretty well for whatever power load that you might be competing with. One of the criticisms I had of, not this one, but the original Canik 55 is the rear sight then. Very Walther P99-ish, but I thought it was pretty much garbage. It kind of fell out of its dovetail eventually. It wouldn't adjust, and so I just bought this aftermarket pair. Slapped it on. I think these are Met P99 sights, and I like them a lot. And notice they changed the front sight, so it was pinned in this original TP9 version. Now it's dovetailed. That one's pinned too. Here's a dovetail right there. Again, we're seeing product improvement along the way, and it's kind of an interesting history we're looking at, because this had a pretty stiff trigger in it. Let's talk about that now. It's kind of a double action only trigger. I criticized it then. I was like, it's not great. It's, you know, it's not double action only, but it was stiff, you know. And I criticized rear sight, but in all other respects, it was good. Hey, what do you know? The big picture. There it is again, just what I said in my rant. Look at the big picture. Does it have quirks? Yeah, it has quirks, but overall, all the things I said about it in 2014, that's a pretty good deal. It's so good that I'm never going to get rid of it. What would I do? Get 200 bucks out of it? Keep it. Not worth getting rid of. It's awesome. And some guys got super excited, speaking of online unhappiness always, about the decocking button at the top of the slide on the original and on the SA. Here we go. They're like, oh my gosh, I would never trust my life to a gun that has this on the top. Relax, dude. I just don't think it's a problem. I've shot this a lot. It's never been a problem. Yeah, but you might swap it and then accidentally decock it. No, it's not going to happen. You're not going to find any real person that's actually done that. Look how much you have to depress the TP9 SA and the original top button to decock it. That's pretty deep. I don't care if it's up there. And it's not open to debris, so debris isn't coming in there. Why did Canik put that on? I don't know. I don't know. It's just different. You know, whatever. I don't have a problem with it at all. I love the TP9 SF. By the way, again, we did an in-field test on this, and we love the trigger. Let's pull this one, and I'm going to show you the SFX trigger on this total line update. So we're considering a lot of things with the Canik line. This will kind of be a reference video to send people to if they're thinking about the gun. Watch my update video, because I'm covering pretty much up to this point most versions. Just the SF Elite we don't have. 5.7 on the SF. It feels even lighter. This one is amazing, the TP9 SF trigger. And again, we have a very Glock looking presentation. Trigger blade on the front, a little bit of serrations going on. Larger trigger guard in all the SFs than a Glock. I like that. Hey Glock, I love you guys, but damn, do an update already. I mean, the competition's fierce. Just make some changes. Enlarge the trigger guard. Change it. Do some things that these guys have done, like an interchangeable height magazine release. We'll look at that in a second. I know the Glock 17M is coming out. It doesn't look that different to me. Yeah, I don't know. Mini Rant also included free of charge. Oh yeah, the trigger on the TP9 SF. That's funny too, because guys think that I'm such a homer for Glocks. Dude, I'll criticize anybody to improve the product overall. I'll look at the big picture, 413 on that one. And if the big picture, all the parts add up, totally recommended. Glocks are that way. Glocks aren't perfect either. They got some weird things, but overall, they're awesome. Just like the TP9. Let's see if I get a better pull. There we go. 4.5 on that. Interestingly, the Canik TP9 SF, this really cool brown coated, this is Cerakote. It pulls very nicely. We were shooting these back to back, Jardine and myself, out in the desert. So we'd shoot the SF, we'd shoot the SFX. And I was like, I love that SFX trigger, but dang, I'm happy with the SF. Look at that, 412 with no trickery. I mean, that's, dude, it's a trigger on these guns. Maybe not the original 55, not so much, but these three, I mean, they're on par, almost on par with the Walther PPQ. I think the Walther PPQ is one of my all-time favorite triggers, just hands down. The VP9 is very similar. For a polymer pistol, they're just superb. Features on the SFX, going back to this one, since it's the Star Child, big external extractor, serrations front and aft on that one, not present on the SF, the SA, or the original. So if you like using them, you can. I never do. All of them have standard 1913 Picatinny rails. I have a TLR3 on this one, and I have my very preferred and recommended TLR1HL on, actually I had it on this one, I think, and I took it off. But anyways, the link's below. I just buy these in Amazon. This is kind of my go-to pistol weapon light. And actually, CQB tactical carbine weapon light as well. This sucker right here. And it's in a FDE of sorts. Super freaking bright. Tough as nails, and it's light. Very light. I still love the Streamlight TLR 1s and the 3s. They're excellent as well. They're cost effective. Huh, mini light review in there. But it'll fit right here. And the nice thing about this 5.2 inch barrel, it's a long slide presentation, more velocity, longer sight radius, and then also our light is not protruding beyond the barrel, like this one. So what I'll have is carbon buildup here. Over time, if you shoot like a couple hundred rounds, you'll have to scrape your lens off if you still want max brightness. A criticism I would perhaps level, it representing my lefties in the audience, is that I don't know if it's the best ambidextrous gun. The Canik TP9 whatever, pick it. Because we don't have a slide release on this side, we can reverse the magazine catch this side. There you go. So just be advised, if that's a big deal to you, it might be a showstopper if you're a lefty. Now Jardine's a lefty. He shot it and he loved it. He adapts to him though. I don't hear him complain. He's like, yeah, it's cool. I love it. Very cool. Very Waltherish slide milling. And what I'm saying, so is a PPQ. I mean, it's just tapered. It's not blocky like a Glock. It's just really nice. By the way, notice that PPQ on the top also has that slide serrations. Same thing. This lacks actually a loaded chamber indicator because you have an optics ready platform here. And you have different plates to fit different sights. Right here. Let me say this super quick. I don't really use optics on my pistols because I'm not competing. But some guys do because they are competing and they practice with it. They get their muscle memory down, their presentations down. It makes a lot of sense. For me, carrying it in a holster with a red dot sight, I just haven't done it. I mean, I've done it, but I just don't like it because I can get on the irons a lot quicker. It's more simple. I'm not relying on a battery. And there you go. I don't do it. But I get it if guys do. I say that because I think there's a trend nowadays with optics ready pistols. Guys like, oh, I got to put a red dot on it. For concealed carry? Next target. No, you don't. For dinking around with range, okay, it's cool. For competing, okay, cool. Go to war? No, I wouldn't do it. That's just me. Just me. And because you have an optics plate here, you don't have room for this loaded chamber indicator. So when we have a round in, this will stick up a little bit. It'll be visual and tactile. And also we'll have a little slot cut in the top hood of the barrel. See that? So it will accept this. And then the SFX, it's going to be solid because it's lacking right here. See, it's solid. Boop. Does that mean that the barrel's less strong? No. Watch that take off. Oh my gosh, I would never trust my life to a Canik TP9 SF. Oh gosh. Here we go. The fantasy of the online world. Whatevs. Trigger's awesome. We talked about that. Trigger guard. I like the squared part of the trigger guard. The traction on the TP9 SFX is good. It's also good on the SF. It's very similar. And make sure it's not identical. It's pretty much identical. Interchangeable back strap here if you care. I just leave the standard one in. It's a long pistol grip on the SFX. And let me make sure. Yeah, same as on the SF. But what makes it longer is this +2 base plate on the magazine, which is an impressive freaking 20 rounds. How you doing? 20. So 18 with a +2 base plate. That does make a very long presentation. Just like the CZ P09 when I reviewed that. And I was like, hey, I love the firepower of the P09, but you know, might want to have big hands. I have large size hands. So for me, it's not an issue. And remember, this gun is really meant, POU, as a competition pistol. But as a go-to-war gun, more rounds is better, right? Yeah, more rounds is better. So 20 is good. How durable is this base plate? Slamming it on concrete drops in competitions. I did not test that with SFX. It's a loaner from Gunnies. I don't know. If the magazine's the same as this one, by the way. This is an 18 rounder without the +2 base plate. And the Canik 55, the original TP9, notice it has the cutout on the polymer frame, so they're not interchangeable. The slots are the same, but because you have different interferences, you're going to have to use a different mag. This is actually interchangeable with this Walther PPQ we found out. So we put this one in while we're shooting it into the Walther PPQ and it worked fine. You can't go the other way though, because the Walther PPQ mag is only 15 rounds, so putting it in here, it won't reach the magazine catch. But the slots are milled close enough where it would work. So, there might be some other interchanges that you'll see, and gee whiz, I always just try to run the magazines for the gun itself, or if there's an exact copy, I'll do it that way as well. And I've talked about that in the tabletop reviews of individual guns. In hand, the Canik TP9s feel great. There is a little bit extra slide mass above the web of your hand. It kind of reminds me of the Springfield XD XDM series. Same can be said for that gun. I still love them. I still shoot well with them, as does everybody else. The Canik TP9 SF, SFX, heck, all these versions are the same. So it's not super low bore axis, but it's close enough. I don't mind it. Magazine catch on the SFX has different heights you can put on it. 3 different ones. I think I have the middle one on. I can't forget if I put the highest or the middle one on. There's a little tiny torque screw in there that you screw that pad on with. Gives you more height and reach for your magazine catch. Very cool. Notice here there's no stippling on any of the guns, so this is bare, so you're not going to wear your thumb as you come and grip the gun. Totally awesome. There's your slide release here. It is a little bit different than I would prefer. There's one of those little quirks. I mean, here I am giving a little quirk. For me personally, I like it to be smooth and non-stepped right here. Kind of like this factory Glock 34 one. See, just a little step, enough to release it. And yeah, I use slide releases all the time. I've always said that in TNP. Hey, you need to slingshot it. No, I don't. I don't. Just because that's the flavor of the month or year or what decade. I'll slingshot once in a while, but slide release, it works great. That's another one of those quirks. Guys will go on freaking 15 pages talking about how dumb someone is that uses a slide catch. That's a perfect example right there. Oh my gosh, you're going to get killed one day because... Shut up. God. See what I'm talking about. Anyways, that's that there. And takedown is super quick, super easy. No surprise at all. It's just... And there's some guns that I've brought to the table lately. Their takedown is kind of different. You know, the Walther CCP is one of them. Super easy takedown. The main reason I'm doing this is not so much you can look inside the slide. It's pretty standard. No surprise there at all. But to show you the slide rails. Very Glockish. You know, they're small, but they're hardened steel inserts. This looks basically like a P99, by the way. Once again, it is basically a P99. A very good thing. And then to put back together is just like that. Done. Field strip. Let's talk about the weights of the Canik TP9s. This one, the SFX, is 30 ounces. These two, and actually that one too, about 28.5 ounces. Yeah, it is slightly more than a Glock. I'm still talking about that. Does it really matter though? Let's look at the SFX. I think 30 ounces for a competition pistol is extremely light. Guys in competition a lot of times like a 40 ounce plus handgun to settle it down for follow-up shots. 30 ounces is light. But if I'm hiking a long way with a full combat loadout, would I choose the Canik TP9 SFX as my primary go-to-war handgun? No. I'd probably choose a PPQ, the sniper's pistol. There's a long slide right there again. G34, 26.5 ounces, so it's a 3.5 ounce difference. You know, that's something. You got to watch the ounces. You don't, you're going to get tired and start pitching weight. Talked about it so much. Enough said. But, dude, I give it a pass. For me, it's a very slight quirk. Very slight. I mean, I gave a pass to the Smith & Wesson M&P 40 Mod 2. That one's even heavier than this. I think it's like 31 ounces, 30.5. I love that gun because it delivered so much in the formula. Great traction. I'm talking the Mod 2. Accuracy, follow-up shots, much improved trigger. It looks great. Just great. See, there's that big picture again. You look at the big picture and I'll take the little quirks. Would I be more excited if this was 26.5 ounces? Yeah, I would. Because I look at it, just me, as a GTW pistol, not so much for competition. Incidentally, when we shot the SFX against the SF, and then previously I shot the SA, I shot just as good with the SF as I did this one. You might think because this has such a sweet trigger on it, and it does. I don't know if I showed you the reset. Reset is very quick in the SFX. Right there, look at that. Basically 4.5 pound trigger. And we'll show the reset here. Since this is an all-inclusive, probably feature length update on the TP9. That's same, dudes. That's same. My scores were the same. That's where I'm getting to. I mean, I was hitting just as good with this as I was that. We were kind of surprised. Like, and Jardine asked me, he's like, which one do you like better? At the time, I was like, I kind of like the SF better. I said that. You may hear it on camera. I was like, I like the SF. And then we went out on another outing, and then I shot that some more, and I warmed up to the style and the feel of the SFX, and I liked it even more. So now I'm like neck and neck. You know, and I'm just talking like a recreational POU. I don't know if you noticed this, by the way. You got a cocking indicator here in the back, tactile and visual. Excellent. And you can see our serial number reviewed right here for the project in case you buy it. I'm honestly wanting to buy this. We just don't have any more ad money to buy it. I'm out of money. So it's probably going to go back to Gunny's Gun Store. Link in the bottom again. Get it. You'll have a certificate. Highly recommended, dude. It's so freaking excellent. 30 millimeters wide on all the SFs. I'm sorry, all the TP9s. So here's the SA again. With that confounded decocking button at the top. Not really confounded. And this one came with decent sights. We never had to replace the sights on this one. These are the stock sights. I don't think these are worn. They're the ones they were using at the time. I forget which. And again, the front pinned. There's a mag release on the SF SA. It's perfect. Really is excellent. I just put this higher one on to experiment with it. I don't have any problems. Everything else is the same. High undercut, big trigger guard, squared face so you can hook your finger around if you want. Still do it. Love it. Totally excellent. And I love the non-articulated trigger. Yeah, I can flex with something like, you know, the M&Ps, but given a choice, I'd rather have something, a stable trigger with a trigger shoe in the middle of it with a polymer gun. I like that. How does it shoot? That was features review. I may have forgot some stuff, but it's close enough. How about it shoots awesome, the TP9 series? Accuracy, let's take a look, shall we? Going quick as I can. TP9 SF, this exact gun right here. This is 10 yards, not 5, not 8, 10 yards standing. You'll see the proof footage somewhere along the way. Right here, right here, right here. Great groups, right here, right here. Very happy with that. Sometimes I shoot better standing than I do freaking sitting down. That's why I always stand up. I was like, I don't know what happens. This is shooting a little bit high. I made some notes myself. This one here. And again, this one doesn't have interchangeable sights. It doesn't have a adjustable rear, so I'm kind of dealing with it. There are sight sets available for the TP9 exclusively. You can do that and look it up. You'll see a bunch of sights for them. Now, I wouldn't say a bunch, but it's getting better because they're so popular. A little bit high here, good group here. Awesome group right there. I say up arrow on the trigger, excellent accuracy. Basically a one-hole group right here on the TP9. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was this one. It's the SFX. This one's shooting high. I was thinking SF. I forgot the X there. Great group there, great group there. And this one does have a capability to regulate the sights. So, never mind. This one's shooting close enough. Which one was the first one? SF is what I showed you. And then we'll end with the SFX, this one. Still shooting high. I didn't try to put any different front sights on there just for time. Rest is superb. Love it. The SFX. 8 yards and 25 yards. 8. Awesome. Look at that. Federal 124 grain HST plus Ps. I think these are golden sabers. These ones right here. 124 grain plus P golden sabers. HST. Look at this, dudes. Out of this gun. Look at that. That doesn't get any better. That's standing. And then I was like, well, let's go. Let's push it out 25 yards. And this is what I did at 25 yards. You'll see the footage, I think. If I can find it. I was aiming here, though. See how it's a little bit high? I need to regulate the sights. That's accuracy. We'll call it as good as anything I've ever brought to the table. How's that? It's freaking awesome. It's that good. That good. By the way, super high value Casio hanging out. It's deserving on the table. Super cool gear. This is like 16 bucks. I went scuba diving with these things the other day, and they're awesome. Link in the bottom. $16. Comes in all these cool colors. I'm going to do an own video on it. That's how much I love it. Yeah, I do high value stuff, and I do some more expensive watches. I go all across the board. Reliability, TP9. How about awesome? We've never seen any jams. Not a stoppage. I can't remember any. Out of all the thousands of rounds that we've pushed through the TP9s, none. It's like Glock reliable. I said that in 14. I was like, this thing's like a Glock. It'll take time to prove it. Well, here we are, like 3 years later. We've had some time, and sure enough, it's like a Glock competitor for less. A little bit heavier, a little bit slightly. The ergos are phenomenal, smooth. The TP9 shoots smooth. They're fun to shoot. They're recreational. They're just excellent. And then finally, would I buy it? Well, dudes, here's your answer. This is our gun. That's our gun. That's our gun. This is on loan. Yeah, I'd buy it. They're part of my weapon systems. TP9s are serving in all types of systems. In fact, the rounds on the table came out of the magazines from these two guns. One's in the truck. Out in the desert, guess what gun goes along? TP9 SA. It's always loaded. This TLR3's on it. It's always there. When I park the truck, I'll take it out. When we got in the desert, it's there along with an 8 SGL-21 full to stock with 3 30-round mags. That's the way I roll out in the desert, dudes. Always got a combat pistol. Always got a good tactical carbine of some sort. So yeah, I'd buy it. Remember the value we talked about on the SFX, competition ready? Maybe a great team gun with a longer sight radius, higher velocity. $500. $500. Might be less, might be a little bit more, but this is what you get. So you're going to get two 20-round, not 18-round mags. But wait, there's more. Like a commercial. Backstrap. There's your optic mounting plates for different optics. Here's your sights, along with a tool. And it also has the base plate tool in there too. Backstrap, loading tool, and a fairly decent paddle magazine with a cleaning brush. And also you get the manual, which went bye-bye somewhere. I dig that holster. I think it's fine. But since then, links in the bottom. I bought these in Amazon, and I'm sorry, dude, I don't remember who's making this holster. It seems like every time I roll a holster on, he's a TNPer. He's like, dude, you showed my holster. Sorry, dude, but I'll put the name of it. Either I'll annotate it or put it in the information below. I like this holster. Kydex for a TP9 OD black American flag. We rocked this and it worked well, very well. That's a nice holster, and it was inexpensive. That's great fit on that. Look, I'm almost liking these outside the waistband holsters better, even for concealed carry, which you can do with your Caniks. They're not the lightest or slimmest guns around, but a lot of guys do it with G17s, about the same size, about the same weight. Because I like the belt loops. They're just easy to get on. Sometimes those paddles are such a pain to take on and off. Here's another one, and you can see the stamping here. We bought this one in Amazon. So it's a composite holster, and it's an outside the waistband carry. Of course, you need a jacket or a long shirt to conceal it. Or if you're not concealing, it's a great holster. So a Ford FBI can't. Leather. I rocked this one, and I liked it. So I'm not selling this one either. It's cool, and it was inexpensive. A couple holster options. And one reason I'm showing you these is to show you that the gun is popularized, and so it's gained traction, and so you have guys making accessories for them because there's more of them out there. You know, so what I've always said ever since I started TNP, if a gun's to succeed, if you buy a gun that does not gain traction in the marketplace, dude, it sucks because you can't get extra sight sets, you can't maybe do a trigger mod, you can't find holsters. It sucks. And there's another gun coming up for review that I'm going to talk about, which I love the gun, but I don't know if it's ever going to find the market traction that the Canik TP9 series has found. There you go. So would I buy it? Yes, highly recommend it, especially like the SF. Look at this coloration, dude. Brown, satin finish. It's almost as good as our Cerakoting job on this Walther PPQ long slide. This one is in Patriot Brown. I think they call this FDE. These ones are Cerakoted in desert sand. This SA is. I love that color too. But I said that in 14. How cool is it that you're getting a gun for $320 that's Cerakoted in a color of your choice? They've had them in green. Yeah. So now I'm going to end with this. Some guys, where did that dude's comment go? Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Oh geez, I don't know if I can find it. Some guys get excited that the gun is made in Turkey. Oh my gosh, I would never buy a Turkish product, you know, and then they start going on some political rant. You know, I don't do that. I don't try to impose my politics on the gun review process. If I did, guess what? I'm not going to be reviewing a lot of guns. Or if I do it, if I hate the company, they did this, they did that, and I'm immature about it and I hold a grudge, I wouldn't review. There's a lot of things I would not review. I'm just an adult. You know, I try to act like an adult, and I concentrate on the products. And, you know, if someone's pissed me off, okay, cool. Welcome to life. It's just the way it goes. I just keep on being an adult and being big picture in the reviewing process. But some guys will say, oh, that Turkey is a origin of, you know, the country of origin. I would never buy Canik. I found a guy's response to such a dude, and I won't read the dude's response for time, but he was like railing on Turkey and this political thing, railing on everything. And the dude responded, his name was Ed, and he goes, you buy a product for its quality or simply because you want it, not because you're and these are his words, a political little bitch. Go sell everything you own made in China. Donate that classic collectible Russian AK to your nearest intelligent neighbor. The list goes on and on. You are a retard. That's that guy's response. And no, I didn't make that up. It's right here. I found it. He said, he took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, it's what I said at the beginning. Guys will go, oh, I'm not going to do this. Relax, dude. And, you know, 5 years from now, it'll be different. I'll tell you this. I flew to Turkey, and they, for years, were great allies. It's the only place we could launch from. Are they perfect? No. They're not. They do things, I don't want to get into it. I don't want to say it. They do things that anger me as well. I don't like it. And I didn't like it when I was over there. But, big picture. Look at what they did. Big picture. That's it. That's it. Oh, and by the way, if I see a bunch of political rants, I'll just shut down comments. I'm telling you that right now. I'm in year 11 of this thing. We ain't going to put up with it. So concentrate on the gun. I don't want to see no political comments. Do your own video. Go on your own YouTube channel. Make your own statement against Turkey or whatever the hell you want to do. I ain't doing it here. And thanks for watching, dudes. You probably, by the way, did not find this video at Century's website. They will not list Nutnfancy videos, even though I've sold for them thousands of guns. You'll find a who's who of gun tubers. We ain't not going to find me. They will not put my video down there. You know, I can't be relied upon to give a Homer review. And I'm not saying the other guys do. I'm just saying the way I do it. I won't. Sometimes I don't like what they do, but I sure like that they're doing this. And I think they're a great company. They are. Big picture. They're great. That they're doing the TP9. They keep bringing all these flavors in, all these cool guns for such a low price. Good on SCA, man. A big thumbs up. I'm so happy they're doing it. Highly recommend it. It's 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. Whatever flavor you get. And again, I wished I had the TP9 SF Elite, the Glock 19 sized one, but you've seen it in photographs or whatever webpage. It's also awesome. Highly recommend it. These are HOF pistols. See you later. Middle right. Yeah, shoots high. It's 25 yards standing. It's a great gun, man. Awesome gun. Check this crap out, man. Jeez. That is awesome. Jeez, one hole. Awesome accuracy. 25 yards.
Well, again, it has a nice trigger.
Way nice, huh?
That trigger is really, really nice. And the sights are great.
In the bright sunlight they rock.
Yeah, boy, they are nice.
Actually, what you're going to do is you're going to go 2 to that main plate and swivel left and hit your left plate over on here.
Okay, gotcha.
2, then 1.
Huh, right. I think I'm going a little right on that one.
Doubles only. Back over here. Right here. Doubles. Triples. Low ready.
Oh, out of ammo.
Digging it?
I like this gun a lot. I like this gun a lot. This is really nice. I love the trigger. Between the two, I think you're right. They really do feel the same in hand. You can see the grips, just about the same.
Yep.
Well, really, they feel identical. You get a really great bite. I mean, you can really grab into the frame and it really sinks down on your hand. But between the two, this definitely has a better trigger. And you said this is a competition gun, so we would expect it, but it is really, really nice.
I think that trigger really comes into its own and is worth it and makes a difference for a guy who practices with this gun all the time.
Yeah.
Shoots to reset, really knows the trigger, and he's just really becoming familiar. And I think for a guy like that, this is probably the better choice. I think for a lot of dudes, this will be just fine.
Sure.
Just a standard combat TP9 SF or SA.
And this trigger is not bad. It's not bad at all. But if you're comparing the two, especially like we're doing here, shooting side by side, there's a definite difference in this competition version of the TP9.
Roger that.
Very nice.